Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Race Face Driving 5 here on raceface.tv. Jacob Seelman back with you, and Michael King Jr. is getting down towards the end of your season, but I think more importantly, the fun part for you, and we can talk about this first, is the fact that you guys have finally been able to shift from your steel block motor in the dirt late model to a true dirt super late model engine to be able to go out and tackle and be more competitive at a lot of these bigger shows going forward. I know you're excited. I know this is the step. We weren't sure when this year it was going to happen, but this is the step that you guys have been waiting for to really now have a chance to see truly where you're at against some of the top competition.
Oh, absolutely. You can make some of these super shows with the more regional series around here with the steel block. You can, like I said, make the show, but you're not going to be super competitive. It's just not going to happen. You can forget about making a World Outlaws or Lucas Oil Race. But now we've taken this step finally. Ape Engines has got us an absolute beast of a motor put together. So I think, especially after the speed the car itself already has, I think we're going to be really competitive next year.
I know before we talk about the race weekend that you were just able to put together, I know you were able to take it out and do a little bit of testing. I mean, was it one of those cases where from the first lap, it was pretty much instantly you could tell, okay, this is going to make that big of a difference?
It took a couple laps for me to finally, really get on it, but I didn't really push it too hard in testing. The track had already slickened up by the time we got there, so we were just trying to work out some of our main issues we've had, and didn't get a lot of read on the car and the motor. Really, more just trying to fix our problems, if you could believe it. Um, but the first time I really got to put a competitive lap together was in qualifying at the comp cam race that we just went to. That was the first time I stopped, kind of babying it and just went wide open with it. And it makes a significant difference.
And I think the comp cam race was Texarkana, right?
Yes, sir.
Uh, so this is fun. You get to go out, make a tour race at what you call your favorite racetrack, and really the racetrack that kind of started it all for you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I know kind of it was one of those where everything changed on the fly during the feature. I feel like goal one was make the feature. You checked that off, and then it was going to be a case of, okay, we've still got a few gremlins, so let's take it home, work on that. And then as you put it to me, we wound it up on the top, and it felt like I had something, so I figured I'd run it for a while.
Well, like I said, we were fighting in practice a little bit with some of our issues, and the power steering problem is just something that's so weird. I spent maybe an hour on the phone with the manufacturers Friday afternoon before the race, working on it in the shop. Me and Dad just busted our butts all day Friday, doing everything we could do. Just couldn't get it, and I told him, I said, you know what, we're gonna send it and see what happens. Went out there and I qualified like junk, hot lapped like junk. I was like, man, I don't know what I've got. Let's just try to make the race. And I got fortunate in the heat race and went from seventh to fourth. They ended up canceling the B main, but we transferred in either way. Um, but I went out there, like you said, with the goal to just make a couple laps. We made a couple adjustments just to see if I could feel any difference in the car with the motor and how our adjustments transitioned between the two motors. Um, but I wound it up on the top a little bit and passed a few guys in a lap or two and said, you know what, let's let her eat until it don't eat no more.
And I think that was what, 23rd to 10th before you ran out of tear offs and finally decided, okay, maybe this is the point where we need to hold the brake and just take home what we've got, keep it put together, and move on to the next one, right?
Yeah, the track had a lot of character to it. I'll just leave it at that. Especially in turns 3 and 4, it was coming off the ground, bouncy a little bit here and there. So if you weren't careful, you were going to the back really quick. So we started tailback in 23rd, and I'm not sure if we ever passed for 10th, but I know we were about 10th to 12th there battling with them guys pretty tight before I ended up being stupid and running out of tear offs. I think I ripped a couple off at a time a few times too because it was just so fast having to just yank. It just a little rookie mistake I made.
So despite the power steering issue, is this a case, and I think I can hear it in your voice, but is a little bit of the confidence back, that at least the worst of the gremlins. You guys have kind of massaged it out, and maybe now you can start to kind of rebuild that foundation to go forward.
If we fix the power steering issue, all the gremlins, knock on wood, will be gone. And we have had by far the most unfortunate, is the only word I can think of, year that I could think of. We haven't finished a feature since, I believe, June. Might have been the last time we finished a feature, was mid June, where we finished second. Every other night we've either had a chance to win and either gotten in an accident or had something just absurd happen. Just some kind of mechanical failure, and just fought problems, and finally, after a lot of just hard work from a lot of people, we've spent countless hours on the phone calling this person, that person, just ironing out everything. Especially when you swap to this new motor, just there's so much different that you gotta take into account. It was just a tall task for just me and Dad to do.
Now that you've got the super motor, I know, and I know we're still probably 6, 7 weeks out from it yet, but I imagine that your enthusiasm to gear up and try to make a second go at the Gateway Dirt Nationals at the Dome in St. Louis is 10 times what it was earlier in the year. Now that hey, we're on par power wise, and now I just have to get up on the wheel and see what I can do with it.
No, that little steel block, it could hang, but like you said, I think we're going to be really equal on power, all the top tier guys. It'll give us a way better shot, I think, especially in qualifying. You detune these motors when it gets slick. That's what all the big guys are doing. That's what we'll have to adjust to do. But especially if the track stays kind of heavy in qualifying, that's definitely going to help us out.
And when you look ahead to that, despite everything that's happened this year, if you can go out and let's not even talk too far ahead of ourselves, but if you can go out and put the thing in the show, does that at least kind of ice a few of the wounds of how tough the summer has been, just knowing, hey, we went out and checked a big box here at the end of the year?
Y'all might not hear from me for a week or two after that if we put it in the show. We're going to be partying pretty hard down here in Arkansas.
Fair enough. I know you're excited about it, Michael. I know there's a lot of people that have gone into this actually, and you have still been out in the shop here over the last couple of days working on it. Shout outs, thank yous. Who do we need to give a call to for getting this deal ready for you?
Oh, first off, I got to thank, of course, Ape Engines for everything they do for us. Kevin and Brandon Hightower, they are phenomenal, and their engine program is amazing. I wouldn't be where I'm at without them. I got to thank all our other sponsors too. Team 5 Enterprise, John Mitchell got us set up with a new oil pump. We believe we'll fix our issue, hopefully. It was real last minute. He helped us out, got that done. Thrifty Liquor, Thurman's Heat and Air, M&A Wrecker Service, ML Performance. That shock package he's got us on right now is bad fast. That thing is a rocket ship every time we unload. PPG Paints, got to thank Mom and Dad and Christy for dealing with my fun lifestyle, we'll call it. And of course, friends of Jacqueline and Race Face Brand Development.
Michael King Jr. gonna be looking towards the Gateway Dirt Nationals here in about 6 weeks. We will check back with him right before Gateway when the calendar turns towards December. Always a pleasure, and we'll get ready for it. See you soon. And that'll do it for this edition of Race Face Drive in 5. He's Michael King Jr. I'm Jacob Seelman. We'll see you next time here on raceface.tv, where you can keep it tuned for all the latest in the world of motorsports.